Opening space, opening circle, gonna sit in and take in the breath, working with the aquamarine tone, filtering through as the element of air. Building through the surrounding areas, we're gonna really restore all of this color and the cloud structure with the aquamarine. Na utora na aki agora ashnosnu ukura asna aki. Really holding that focus of the imagery, intention, and knowing that we're just gonna blast through any layers of grey. And as we work with the breath, breathing in through the lower three chakras, scan the back side of the body, bringing your attention to the back side of your field, the back side of your body, your sphere. And encapsulate with crystalline aquamarine tones of light. Bringing the attention to the base of the hips, we're going to bring in the next breath and bring a spinal alignment in ruby tones. Breathing in, na utayatara neshmi siakura, unlocking the heart, lotus breath. Expanding and unlocking the heart, na yutora mana ashia okura in the ruby tone. And just observe the emotion that connects into this and that rises as we breathe. It's like a complex mixture of fear, anxiety, and trepidation, which is filtering more so through the left side body and bringing a tightness through the throat and third eye, and a pain over the front side of the throat. Let's expand that ruby light through the whole left side of the body and through the semicircle presentation, half left side presenting as a semicircle, if we're looking from a bird's eye perspective. Okay, next 3 breaths, we're gonna harness that ruby tone and just start building it through to the right. And as we work with the breath and expand the lotus, the presentation then becomes a full faceted ruby gemstone on a bird's eye perspective, looking down, and the body through center presenting as aquamarine. Engaging and building architecture structurally through the fields, Yatana Mana Ashiokura. which is about bridging a connection between the root and the throat. Unlocking tightness over the crown of the head as the architecture erects and begins to spin, presenting as a grand crystal palace. And just allow that to spin until it comes into full crystallized form, sparkling through the fields. Lifting out any confusion, lifting out any amnesia, any distortion na yodoro mana ashio so okura. And just separating out your own consciousness from this heavy energy. Which is presenting as constrictive, limiting, and quite controlling. Recognizing you in this moment. And recognizing your identity within it as well. Identifying whether this frequency is resonant to your truth. Okay, and as you ask these questions, you may start to feel your essence stepping back away from the constriction that was locking down this crystal palace. And then becoming more of the objective observer. Gonna expand that ruby light up through the pillar and really engulf the palace in ruby tones, which then immerse with a downstream effect of magenta. Magenta moving down the pillar. And ruby expanding horizontally through it. Creating a crystalline multi-layered spectrum of light, crystal gemstone light. And we're going to inlay it to the architecture, which is holding a base tone of carbon, matter. And as we blend them together, the DNA fields open and beginning to hear and feel abrasive kind of cracks and rubs together, unlocking the carbon structures, which pertain memory and pertain kind of uh, hardened forms of consciousness, blending with the magenta and ruby, and also blue. Blue sapphire Sookura. Okay, so we're moving from a contracted state through the tritone wave spectrums into an expansive interaction. So we're going through contraction to expansion as we unlock the layers of the manifestation template. The layers of the universal time matrix. Like a popping sensation now. We're just gaining to unlock these time seals. Unlocking layers of the carbon matter. Which host and hold the memories. And emotions, Shiokura. So we can bring shadow into the light. Okay. Waves of iridescent plasma water wash across each direction of the horizontal field. And that plasma water engages with the structure, aiding in dissolution of the contraction, stabilizing the flash pattern sequencing, which reverberates through the cyclical patterns, softening the blow. Modulation synthesis as the modulation fields gain momentum to expand. So these modulations are carrying waveforms of emotion, it's frequency bands. So where they are kind of not corrupted, but holding more heavier matter within it, the water is kind of acting as a tool to neutralize and to synthesize the heaviness of the field at the moment. Okay, and this is presenting as quite intense shock. So as we come through these heavier transits of emotion, coming back to the remembrance of who you are and what you are and what you're not. So we can bring it back to the objectivity. Oh, wait, this is not me. This is not my energy. This is not my true frequency band. This is not my essence. And as we recognize these heavy, tight, compact pockets of energy begin to lift out of the body, out of the field, out of the chakra system, breathing into the heart and releasing. Now, each of these will kind of tell a story of your history. It's going to be personal to you. Um, so each experience is personal on this one, I would say, rather than me kind of dictating a storyline, rather than just allowing you to unravel in your own space. But if you can't always see, try and get a feeling as to what the constriction really is about, what is the heaviness of the trauma really is about. And even if you can't get that, knowing that it is just unlocking and moving out of your field, that is enough to perform the healing that's needed. And then you can go back and review at a later date. Na yutoro mana ashio kura. Okay, the next step we're coming to is the Universal Tree of Life. And as we bear witness to the tree, we're going to just start bringing through pink light that just expands across the trunk, expands across the spheres of the Sephirot, or the Templar system, which correlates to your chakra system, correlates to the stargates of the earth, and the interplanetary and the universal. And as we bring that through, taking no ownership of the heaviness, we're then able to unlock the tree from the standpoints to unlock the memory. And overlaid to that is a blue and green dragon. I actually feel there's two dragons there, but presenting as one. It's like an emerald and an aquamarine. We use that as a symbol code. Okay, and then we've got the symbol of the Dagon race, which is a fish pointing downwards. The head is pointing down, overlaid to the symbol, the Tree of Life. Connection to the great star Sirius. Fresh code infrastructure moving in. Hold the focus on the imagery. The fish is shining silver and blue as the symbol code. Allow it to shine and just pulse as the codes move into the architecture and start resurrecting up the field structure, building the blueprint, or unlocking the blueprint, building the architecture. with an exchange of wisdom and an opening of the cellular memory, an opening of the DNA activations, connecting to the sixth strand of DNA, geometric resequencing, mathematical equations of dating, and unlocking the base grid, the base scalar grid of the manifestation template, unlocking and updating. Base grid, Yadanamana Ashya Sookura. Developing the codons, Yadonana Ashya Sookura. Heavy black lattice moving out of the codon, the complex codon Nayodorana Ashya Ukura structure, Diadanamashia Kura Anahia, looking like a thick black shadowed interlocking grid that's also laden through the DNA spirals and unlocking from the scalar wave, and filtering through the DNA not the DNA, sorry, the dimensional frequency bands and sub-frequency bands. Holding your focus and just allowing all of that blackness just to fizzle out into light, where the rays of the diamond sun, diamond iridescent sunlight, passed through the spheres, develop through the waters, and build through the bodies. Moving out any distrust, disbelief, not taking any ownership with that. Any limitation of the mind, moving through the system where you judge and question yourself. Okay, bringing a blue ray down through fields, vertically down. We're just going to flash through the imagery. We're going to flash through the bodies and connect into the core of the earth. And as we repattern with the blue ray, expand out across the multidimensional horizontal perspective and connect through the blueprint. Allowing full blueprint remodeling. Moya Gurana Ayakarane Shiatha Atia, Ayakaranama Okyokura Oshunyut. Breathing deep into the root, sacral, solar. Having your attention brought down to the feet area. The more you bring your attention down into the lower quadrants of the body, we're allowing the higher levels to shift as well within that, because the lower can sometimes block up the higher. So to do that, we clear out the lower part of the system to move the higher light as well. We're going to call back all of the essence through time and space, space and time, all the way forwards, all the way back, update through all fields, update through all localized grids. And we're going to go ahead and move to seal forward now through all levels of layers of light. Seal forward now through all bodies and through the breath of the divine I am. Sending loads of love, gratitude, and happiness. Have a great day.